Hello, welcome to Enots Engineering. I'm Alan. Today in the workshop we're making a set of burnishing wheels. Now burnishing wheels replace your knurling wheels in a knurling tool, and they help give you a better finish on a diameter. It will reduce the diameter slightly the longer you burnish the part, but we're only talking about tenths of a thou. And it's quite useful for if you have to remove a small amount to fit a bearing. So let's go into the workshop, see how we do it. I have an offcut of steel which I've used for something else. You see I've milled a hexagon on there. All I want to do is make some burnishing wheels. So just hold that in the chuck. The diameter's not critical as long as they fit the knurling tool. Now when you're using emery cloth on the lathe, I always use a piece of wood at the back of it. In the past I have glued emery cloth to the wood so it can make a four-sided stick with emery cloth. That gives you more pressure to put on the emery cloth without it ripping, and you can control the emery cloth a lot easier. Plus it keeps your hands away from the chuck. And the next job is to drill a hole through, which is the size to suit your knurling tool. This is the knurling tool I want to use. So first thing I need to know is what size is the spindle that goes through the wheels. So I'll measure that spindle. Let's drill down 30mm. This is a 6mm drill. I'm reaming out 1/4 inch. That should fit the screw for my knurling tool. Just want to turn a chamfer on the end. I'll use my parting off tool for that because I need that next. Now I'll set my tool square. Just using a square along the workpiece. And set the tool to that. Right, set my tool to the end of the part. I've zeroed my digital readout. I need to know the width of that tool. I'll say 3mm. So I want to move in the width of the roll that I want to make, which is 8mm plus 3mm should be 11mm. Lock my saddle and we'll part that part off. put some oil on there. Before I part it off completely, I'm going to put a chamfer on the other side, about 45. While I'm doing that, I'll do the other side. Zero it back on the next part, move down 8mm plus 3. Once more, put a chamfer on the other side of the wheel. More oil. Now I'm just using a countersink to take the rough edge off. That's the one wheel finished. Here are the two wheels of my knurling tool. So all you do is put the burnishing wheel in, a screw on the top, same on the other one, burnishing wheel goes in, screw on the top. Tighten that down. That's the two burnishing wheels fitted. Just make sure that they can revolve. I fitted the wheels in the knurling tool holder. Just bring them in. On this piece of steel there's some damage there. I don't know whether it will struggle with that. I just run it slow. And then adjust your knurling rollers so they just start to grip the part. Just roll backwards and forwards. Also put some oil on the rollers.
what the burnishing rollers are doing are crushing the surface to get an improved finish. So you have to take half a thou off, and you've taken it out of the lathe, you've got to take half a thou off. You know that as soon as your tool starts to cut, you're going to take 2 or 3 thou off, especially if it's for fitting a bearing. These burnishing wheels are useful for that. They can crush the diameter down a slight amount, and then you'll be able to get your bearing fitted. I'm only talking about tenths of a thou, I'm not talking about thous. If you're a thou over, you could probably crush it down to half a thou, depending on the material, and then your bearing would fit. I've placed a piece of aluminium in the chuck. This is just showing you how quick you can burnish softer metals without the need to turn them. You can see the difference straight away from the burnished part to the unburnished. The top ½ inch of that bar I've used on the burnishing rollers. You can definitely see it looks like a better finish.
Just check with the micrometer the diameter where I haven't burnished it. Just there.
And look at the reading, just under 0. Now I'll move it along to where I've burnished it. It's about a couple of tenths down, and the more you burnish it, the smaller it will get. There's the bar. This end I burnished, this part I didn't. I don't know whether it will show up on the camera. Oh well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Hope that was useful, and we'll see you next time on Enots Engineering.